just to quickly recap, Parijat, so welcome back to day two. Can you just give a quick refresher of what you said yesterday and
Yeah, let's
please go
do
ahead.
that. So, with day one being yesterday, we did our best to understand why our body and our mind needs rest, why it needs a reset, what's the importance of recovery in the role of alleviating stress from our daily lives on a daily basis. So, there is a science to rest and how it calms the body. So we discussed the science behind recovery, and we highlighted how physical and mental health rest to these specific parts of our life. It repairs the body and it calms the nervous system in multiple different ways. We learned how rest supports reducing stress by allowing the nervous system itself to reset from a heightened state of alertness caused by small daily pressures and stressors. We also saw a bit about sleep and its importance in our life. We saw that rest is not just about sleep, but it's also about mental, emotional, and sensory relief that helps us build a resilience, and it helps us fight back against stress. It helps us handle those situations better. We understood that regular rest, it improves the body's ability to manage cortisol levels that are secreted, which is what lets us know that we're feeling stressed. It's the stress hormone. So it helps our body regulate the levels of this hormone, and it supports overall health and overall immune function. And we also got a glimpse of different restorative practices and strategies to implement rest and recovery effectively to enhance stress management and well being. So we stop there, and today we'll take it forward with what are the specific techniques through which we can actually start doing this on a daily basis. So, for everyone who's here today, I thought we'll start off by start today, which is day two, with a gentle movement and a breath work. So, if you're sitting or if you're lying down, whatever it is that you are, let's start by just sitting up straight, sitting tall with our feet flat on the floor. Let's just do a gentle full body stretch, arms reaching overhead. Nice long stretch. Interlock your fingers and stretch as tall and as wide as you can. And slowly bring your arms back down and transition into a couple of neck rolls. Do a few clockwise, another few anti-clockwise. I'm already a little dizzy because it's been such a long day. And then just inhale deeply through your nose, raising your arms as you breathe in. And then exhale through your mouth as you breathe out. Repeat the deep inhale and the controlled exhale cycle 3 times along with the stretch of your hand. Focus on your breathing and get as calm as you can. End it with a brief but mindful pause. Notice how your body feels lighter, your mind feels clearer, and you just feel a little bit more of energy, but not the kind of energy that gets you up and going into a party, but rather the kind that feels a little more relaxed and a little easier towards your night and as you go into bed. So my recommendation is you do one of this as soon as you wake up. One is 3 cycles. So you do 3 cycles of these as you wake up, and this will get you going into your day. It will give you just enough of stretch and movement to get you just from your bed to go, and that goes a long way, especially on those mornings where you've had a long night from the previous day. And the same thing right before you go to bed. All right, so coming to today's main content, first and foremost is progressive muscle relaxation, or PMR. PMR is a very very effective. It's come up in a lot of literature. It has transitioned its way from physiotherapy all the way to psychology and now performance psychology. This is basically a way to tense and relax your muscles at the same time. So it involves first slowly tensing your muscle groups, different parts of your body at once. First, tense your fists, then tense your elbows, and tense your shoulders, then move from your chest to your lungs to your stomach, down to your legs, and finally to your feet and your knees. Now, what you do is that you slowly tense and release these muscle groups in gaps of 5 seconds. So you tense it and you hold it in for 5 seconds, and then you start releasing them one by one, gradually moving through your body from top to bottom. So, what this practice actually does is that it reduces physical tension and it lowers stress hormone levels, promoting both physical and mental calmness overall. So, try to practice it daily, ideally at the end of your workday. There are multiple different guides you can find for this. So you can find it on YouTube, you can find it on Spotify. All you need to put in is PMR, progressive muscle relaxation, guided meditation. So it's not exactly meditation, it's more like a guided stretch. And what it does is that through the day, multiple things might have stressed you out, it might have pressured you. And not all of the stress usually shows itself in a mental or in a psychological way. You won't always get angry or frustrated. Sometimes it gets stored in different parts of the body. So sometimes at the end of your day, you'll feel like the part behind your neck and your back, this part will be very tight. So that's because actually of stress. It's not just because of posture or something like that. So the stress stores itself in different parts of your body without realizing. What PMR does is that it undoes the stress, it unties those knots, and it just relaxes you overall. It's a very, very effective technique to alleviate stress on a daily basis. My recommendation, do this once, especially after your workday concludes, when you're at home, when you're in bed, and it will be just the thing you need to send you into your night. Technique two is two specific types of breathing techniques and overall focus towards mindful breathing and meditation from time to time. So, first is box breathing, and second is the 478. So, box breathing is a very, very special type of breathing technique. It's very close to me. Um, so it does two things. One, it focuses you, and second, it also relaxes you. So it's a very simple breathing technique. You start by inhaling for 4 seconds, you hold it in for 4 seconds, you exhale for 4 seconds, and then you hold it in for 4 seconds again. It's like a square. It's very simple. So you do 4 cycles of this once every 2 hours during your day, and you will find yourself more alert and awake as the day goes by. It has been something that has personally helped me be my most productive version of myself, especially when I have a lot on my plate and a lot of things stressing me out through my day. This specific breathing technique has been, it's basically been like a hit of coffee for me, but when I don't have access to caffeine. And if it's after 2 p.m., I wouldn't recommend anyone to have caffeine. So this has been the most ideal alternative for me. It's been the right kind of jolt to just wake me up and keep me going for the rest of my day. The second one is the 478. So the 478, as I call it, it's the knockout breathing technique because you do this, you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold it for 7 seconds, and you exhale very slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. You do four of these, it will knock you out. That's why I call it the knockout breathing technique. So there have been nights where I have just been awake. I have not been able to sleep. And a lot of my clients have come back to me with this experience where different thoughts keep them awake. They're not able to sleep. Something is stressing them out. Something is constantly bugging them in their head, and they're not able to pull it aside. And they have a lot of difficulty with meditation as well. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of practice. Meditation isn't everyone's cup of tea. This has been the most ideal alternative I have been able to successfully and efficiently recommend for them, especially when they have difficulty in sleeping. So you do the 478 technique 3 times, 3 to 4 times, and I guarantee you it will knock you out. It will put you to sleep as good as a strong paracetamol would. So try it tonight if you want, see if it works. And on those days when you know that your body needs the rest, but your mind fights your body, this can be the very thing that puts your mind to rest as well. So you can find guided versions of these two specific breathing techniques as well. You can find on YouTube and Spotify. It's very simple. You don't need a lot of tools or anything. It's for very specific situations. So remember that. Try box breathing for when you need to wake up, and try 478 for when you need to go to sleep. Simple as that. All right. The third one is, as we started today's session with, it's just gentle stretching and movement. Nothing too complicated to it, but there are a lot of different benefits to doing these at specific moments through your day based on the need of the hour. So stretching, it does a lot of things. It releases muscle tightness, obviously. It relieves physical stress that's accumulated from sitting or just from tension through the day. Gentle movements like the neck rolls we did at the start, seated spinal twists, just twist as hard as you can, simple as that. Do shoulder shrugs. All these things, what they actually do is they improve blood flow and it boosts relaxation. It basically shoves oxygen into different parts of your body that have been devoid of oxygen because a lot of stress has accumulated in these parts. So you can do these during your short breaks. You can do it as part of your evening routine. And speaking of routine, I have something for that as well, something very important. And make it a part of your evening routine to help your muscles unwind and just ease into rest and ease into the end of the day. And I cannot ignore the slide. I have to put it in. Sleep hygiene is probably the number one factor that promotes stress release and recovery. Try to make every single point I have put here. I will go into detail, but the crux of it is that the more efficiently you're able to sleep, the better your body is going to be able to recover and bounce back the next day. So sleep, it does a lot of things. It's not just okay, I'm feeling tired, I'm going to go sleep and wake up tomorrow and get back into the grind. It's not as simple as that. It does a lot of things. It's the memory reset button for your brain. It's the stress release button for your body. It promotes overall recovery because the entire day, every single part of your body has been at its peak of functioning. And what sleep does is that it gives all those things a rest. It gives all those things a moment to stop. If you think of your body as the CPU, sleep is shutting the CPU down so that it can cool down, so that the next day when you switch it on again, it's going to work properly. If you don't, if you keep it switched on the entire night for all the 24 hours, it's not going to be very functional and efficient to do its job. We human beings and our bodies function very, very similarly. We need to give our internal CPU something to relax. And the more efficient it is, the better. Best way to do it is through sleep. Now, there's a couple of ways to make sleep itself come to us more efficiently. First and foremost, your environment needs to cue sleep. It shouldn't be, it's actually not as simple as, okay, I switch off the lights, I go to bed, and I try to sleep. It's not going to be as simple as that. There are going to be days where trying to sleep is going to be just as hard as getting through the day itself. And the harder we try, the more difficult it is going to be to fall asleep. So there are going to be certain conditions that you can manually tweak so that you can sleep more comfortably. First three are your environment needs to be dark, it needs to be cold, a little cold, and it needs to be quiet. So you fill these three boxes right before you go to sleep, you are way more likely to actually fall asleep because each of them they compound together so that the environment is fit for you to sleep in. If it's loud, if it's hot and humid, and if there's a lot of light around, you are not going to be able to fall asleep. Next one of the most important ones on this list, screen time. Screen time is a big barrier to sleep hygiene. So the shorter the span is between you looking at a screen from you going to bed, the worse your chances are of actually having an effective sleep schedule. So try to limit your screen time at least 1 hour before bed. Blue light has a very specific effect on the secretion of melatonin in your body. And melatonin is the hormone that lets you know that you're feeling sleepy. Just like cortisol is the hormone that lets you know that you're feeling stressed. So you want your melatonin to be released into your brain the sooner you hit the bed. And if you keep looking at a screen, if there's constant blue light hitting your eyes, it's not going to be released. It's going to take a lot more time for that melatonin to let you know that you're feeling sleepy. So if you find yourself scrolling into the night, it's not usually because the content is so interesting. It's actually because there's no melatonin being given to your brain. Next one is try to avoid caffeine after around 2 p.m. in the afternoon, because what caffeine does, caffeine is generally an upregulator, which is exactly what its job is. It's to wake you up, it's to make you more alert, especially in moments when you're feeling drowsy and lousy. You want to wake up so that you can increase your productivity levels. So what caffeine does is that it wakes you up in that moment. But there is a downside to this as well. When you take it in the morning, it's great, but when you take it after around 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., it starts crashing. And when the caffeine crash, it crashes below a level where you would have been if you hadn't even taken that cup of coffee. So try to reserve your caffeine intake towards the start of your day rather than the middle, and definitely not at the end, because it will give you a high where you're very productive and then it will crash below your baseline. And that is not good, because that will only make you feel more lethargic, more lazy, less productive, and more difficult to sleep. Lighting is also a very, very big impact on your sleep schedule. We discussed blue light, but just cutting down on blue light, maybe that'll do the trick. But if you want to take it a step further, you can try more ambient lighting in your house or in your room. Try dimming the lights towards the end of the day. So if it's around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening, you slowly see sunlight going down outside. What you can do is switch the white lights in your house towards a yellow light towards the end of your night, so that it mimics the sunlight. And the more you can dim it as the time goes by, the more you feel like you need to sleep. Whereas if you're constantly under a bright white light, like this stupid thing, what will actually happen is that you will start feeling sleepy and you will start feeling like, okay, I need to go rest, and your body will slowly wind down. Yeah, we all have a circadian rhythm, we all have a body clock. And what this clock, we need to basically let this clock do its job. And the more white light we're exposed to, just like the more blue light we're exposed to, the clock is going to have a very difficult time. The clock is going to run out of battery, and eventually we will too. um, Last one, it is just a recommendation. It's extremely research backed, and it's also personally backed by my experience. Try to have a hot shower right before you go to bed, because as soon as you come out of a hot shower and you enter a colder environment, you are immediately going to feel drowsy. You are going to feel like you want to rest, and you want to feel like you just want to get under a nice cozy blanket. And there's nothing like it like that to put you to sleep. It's just a recommendation. Try it. It's a lot of fun. It's very easy to go to sleep after that, because you just want to like hug a nice heavy blanket and just shut down. All right, so we're reaching towards the end of the techniques, but it's not done. There are a couple of more things you can do. Most importantly, combine everything we have spoken about. So combining these techniques into something like a nightly routine, it maximizes their benefits. You get the best out of it. So progressive muscle relaxation, try PMR for 5 minutes, do mindful breathing for 5 minutes, do gentle stretching for 5 minutes, all together, and then you take a hot shower, you will sleep like never before. Regular practice, we all know the importance of consistency in our life. This is no different from that. Regular practice, it builds a resistance and a resilience to support. It supports your recovery on a nightly basis. It gives a boost to your sleep hygiene and your sleep schedule. And try to keep track of what works best for you, and you can adjust it accordingly. You can journal, you can write down how you felt tonight so that you can see how to improve tomorrow. And we're going to focus on how to build habits like this in the next 1 or 2 slides. And it's all about building those habits so that it supports you. And it's not about making the change over just one night, but rather just make 1% of a better improvement over each day. So that's easier. It's way easier to just make 1% of a change every day rather than make 100% of it in one night. Maybe we'll be able to sustain that for 2 days, 3 days, but after that, it's going to crash and it's going to go to zero. So I would say 100 to zero is much worse than 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 every day. So that's just the simple logic behind it. Um, you can go a little bit further out of your way if this is a priority for you, making time to prioritize resting and resetting at the end of your day. Something very important. I know that I personally need to work on this. What I've put up here is basically a stretch chart and a habit tracker. It's very simple. The habit tracker makes sure that every day you are doing these things. All you need to do is put a tick mark by the end of your day. So you can have multiple things for each day. One can be, okay, wake up at this time. Two can be go work out, go exercise. Three can be have enough protein. Four can be go to work. Five can be have no caffeine after 2 p.m. Six can be do my nightly routine. Seven can be have a hot shower. And all you need to do is put a tick for each of these things. And you will see that by the end of the month, you have actually put so many ticks that it has become a habit. And you're not forcing yourself to do it. You're doing it because there's a tracker to maintain. And the tracker does nothing if not make your life and make your day better. You will notice that you are so much more efficient as a person, as an employee, as a family member, as you follow each of these habits. The stretch chart, the concept behind this is very simple. Every day, try to do at least three stretches, any three random stretches from all 15 of these that you're seeing here. It's very simple. It's a lot of fun. And over time, you'll see that over 1 week, you have tried out every single stretch. And then you will slowly figure out a combination of which of these is what you want in that moment. Not all the times you'll feel like just doing a leg stretch and a neck stretch or a calf stretch. Someday you will want to do a tricep day, the next day you'll want to do a shoulder shrug, or you'll want to expand your chest or stretch out your back. So it's all about having fun with it. Try to pick at least two or three of these each day, and over 1 week, make sure that you're covering all 15 of these. Um, Again, as always, you can still go another step and reward yourself. This is a lot of fun. This is something that will incentivize the entire process of doing this, because all these things, they give you long-term gains. You do all of these things for 1 day, 2 day, 3 days. You're not going to see a big difference. It will be more relaxing. It will be more restful. You will see that you're dealing with stress a lot better in your life. But it's not just that, they do have long-term benefits. So if you see over a 6 month period, you probably won't even recognize how far you've come, because the benefit is so tremendous and it is so satisfying. It gives you such a confidence boost. So each of these things, every day as you do it, you should reward yourself, not just to make sure that you're doing it for the reward, but you're doing it so that you also do it the next day. It's to maintain continuity, it's to maintain that consistency with all your habits. So set up a reward system. Let's say if you do everything in your habit tracker for 1 week, at the end of that week, you're going to give yourself a gift. It can be an ice cream, it can be anything you want. Um, so these are just different ways to actually promote stress alleviation, promote rest, promote relaxation, promote recovery and resetting at the end of a long day. And these are just a couple of different ways that you can make sure that you're actually following through on each of these things. The reward system is one of them. Track your habits, track the different stretches that you're doing, and have fun with it. That is the most important part. If it's feeling very difficult to do all of these things, remember to come back to step one and make it as easy as you can, because all we want is a 1% difference the next day. It's not perfection. We want progress. So that's it. Make sure that you're paying attention to just that one aspect, and you will see that a lot of things are actually improving. If you guys have any questions
Yeah,
Um,
there is
Please put
one.
across.
Yeah, so I hope you saw it. So yeah, so this comment says like they tried as suggested. I guess that
Facing a
means
back pain
somebody
issue.
tried the stretches or what exactly. So here, I hope I am pronouncing your name right. So what exactly did you try? And okay, he says he's facing a back pain issue. So like if we face any challenges, Parijat, so anyone, okay,
Yeah.
we're going to try something. We don't know whether it is for us or not. How do we balance it out?
I think it starts off by trying all of it. So if we do, let's say, if we start one habit and immediately we're noticing a negative side effect of it, um, the solution is not to stop the habit; it's to try a different version of the habit, rather, I would say. So for in Sohail's case, he said that he started exercising every day, and he's facing back pain issues. So Sohail, my personal recommendation would be change what you're doing, try different things, and make sure you're paying attention to warming up right before you start your workout. And towards the end of your day, don't forget to stretch. Really stretch. Do a full PMR routine, and I'm sure you will notice that there is probably something like a knot or some kind of stress that is settling itself into different parts of your neck and your back. I have a very similar issue to what you're talking about. I have a lower back thing. Um, so what I try to do is that I stretch it out. I really do a full blown back stretch so that I feel like any bone or any muscle or any tendon that has just been cramped together from me sitting the entire day, it stretches out a little bit more. So also, so hey, like similar to me, if the work you do, it involves you sitting a lot throughout the day, every 2 hours, make sure that you're getting up, doing some movement. Pick any one or two stretches from the stretch chart that I put up earlier and just try it. So make sure that every 2 hours you're getting in some kind of a movement. And I think over time you will notice that the back pain does reduce.
I hope that answered him. So yes, right. So I really liked how you put it, like Parijat. So today, you mentioned like four different techniques. Like fourth one is not a technique; it's a sleep.
It's just
You
a
covered today.
combination and paying attention.
So
Yeah.
and all the four pieces of the puzzle, or something like that. That's how I saw. So sleep itself is. You gave some practical ideas, and especially on the lighting. And these days, a lot of dimmable lights are also available. So it's
Yeah.
right. We can
Because
use
it
that.
is I don't know if every house will have access to like dimmable lights, but what I do is that at around 6 o'clock I switch off the tube light and I switch on the small light. And
Right.
at around 10 o'clock I switch off the small light and I just switch on like this. Like it's even smaller, it's only for one part of the room. Um, and yeah, I mean, there are multiple things we can do for sleep. There are some crazy ideas. We can literally, there's one way in which we can condition our brains because if we go to bed to fall asleep, it'll be difficult to fall asleep. That's because sometimes we sit and eat on our bed, we sit and work on our bed, we have
Working
conversations on
on bed, yes. A lot
exactly.
of us do that.
Yeah, a lot of us have that habit. So my recommendation for those people, including myself, will be keep your bed only for sleep, so that instead of you going to bed and expecting to fall asleep, when you go to bed, you will fall asleep
Mm,
because over time your brain will start associating itself with the bed for sleep. Because right now for me the bed means work, the bed means food, the bed means it can be a lot of different things, but there is a way for your brain to make the bed mean sleep and only sleep. So yeah, there are a lot of different creative ways to try out sleep schedules. We can look it up. It's very simple. Everything is research backed.
great. So thank you. And those who are here, if you are trying to build any of this as a habit, or you need a little bit of accountability as you're trying, Parijat is available in the Anyo app. So you can also book consultations with him. So he's a performance coach primarily, and he specializes in helping people build habits that are very sustainable, instead of, as he himself said, it's not like 100 and then going to zero.
Exactly.
Building slowly and steadily, sustainably, so you can also know whether a habit is working for you or not. Like, if in case, like, so if someone is experiencing negative
Yeah.
effects, like, they can just drop what is not working, and they can just start building slowly, so you know which habit is causing what kind of effect. So yeah, do consider booking a consultation if you need that extra hand holding.